If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, I may just have to marry you, Captain.
The one that goes, if you like pina colada and caught in the rain.
You know, I know the song, but it's sung by a man named Rupert Holmes.
Oh, are you sure? I feel like that's Buffett.
You know what? It's vacation. I think I'll just take a pina colada, please.
All right, so this is going to be a new series on my channel. My channel's Movies Are Life, and kind of the inverse of that, life is movies. And so I'm going to do lots of slightly indirect videos regarding movies, but they're going to be mostly focused on other things. And this series in particular is going to be on cocktails. And when it comes to cocktails, I'm no means an expert, and I know a little, but what I do try to do is whenever I do want to make a drink, I try to make it the best that I can. And sometimes that can mean a lot of different things. So starting with the Piña Colada in this episode, the first thing I had to do was think of a movie that I could relate to, talk about the movie, give my review of the movie, and make the cocktail. And obviously that's how I can tie the side things into more movie-related material. And with a drink as famous as the Piña Colada, you would think that it would be all over the place in movies. And I'm sure it pops up here and there, but I don't know how many famous scenes involve a Piña Colada. Now, obviously, there is a lot of the use of the Rupert Holmes song, Escape, the Piña Colada song. So obviously that is going to be heavy used, but the actual seeing a Piña Colada served in a movie or mentioned or even talked about, I did some research, and probably the closest thing that I could come up with a little bit of research was from that scene in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And I think that kind of exemplifies a little bit of what people may think of when they hear Piña Colada. It's just, it's famous, but it's one of those resort drinks, and they're just really made. There's nothing that special about them. As you saw in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he kind of had almost a negative outlook of just, I'll take a Piña Colada, just kind of like, it's a drink. It's a tropical, fruity type drink. I'll go ahead and take one of those. And you may not get the excitement of other movies where cocktails can be a center of a conversation or a scene or something like that. But definitely let me know in the comments if there's movies that you can think of that feature someone being served a Piña Colada, or even scenes where they may just talk about it. And obviously exclude anything that just has the song reference in there, because that's mostly used in scenes that don't even involve margaritas. So when it comes to the Piña Coladas, so I've had no Piña Coladas thus far. That was just a genuine mistake. Margarita comes at a later episode, and there's going to be plenty of movies to try and figure out to talk about when it comes to that. Anyway. Now, as far as the history of the Piña Colada goes, I don't get too deep into that, especially when certain drinks like this, the history can be muddled a little bit. But from what I gather, there's 2 bars in San Juan, Puerto Rico area. I think one's outside the city, but there's 2 bars in Puerto Rico that claim to have invented the Piña Colada. And I have seen the drink made at both bars across multiple videos. I have come across the recipe at one of the locations. To the best of my ability, I've recreated it. And to me, it's the best recipe out of all the Piña Coladas that I've tried. Granted, I've only maybe tried 6 or 7 variations, but I enjoy this one a lot. And starting off, you are going to use 6 ounces of pineapple juice. And you could create your own pineapple juice out of a fresh pineapple. I like these little 6-ounce cans of Dole pineapple juice, even though this may not be the absolute best pineapple juice you can use. I just like them because they're 6 ounces and they're the exact amount that you need for one drink. So the next thing you gotta realize is how you prepare the drink. And with this version, you either need a slushy machine like they use at the restaurant. You can use an ice cream maker, or you can go the really cheap route and use a little handy device called a Ziploc bag. And all you're gonna do is first dump the 6 ounces of pineapple juice in the bag. And things are not starting off too appetizing, but this is just the way I have figured out is the best way to do it. Next, you need cream of coconut. And Coco Lopez is my go-to. There is the Real coconut, which does not have the flavor. There's a certain flavor that the Coco Lopez has that just, it's like the it flavor of what I'm looking for in a cream of coconut. You can make your own cream of coconut at home, but it reminds me more of the Real, and it does not have that addition that the Coco Lopez seems to have. So I think I might try to maybe try to figure out the secret way of making Coco Lopez at home, but until then I'm just gonna buy it. Now, as a side note, on the back of the can it says combine 4 ounces of Coco Lopez, 4 ounces of pineapple juice, 3 ounces of rum, and mix in a blender with 2 cups of ice. I'm not gonna do that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do about 2 ounces of the Coco Lopez. And if you can get it directly from the can, that's the best way to do it. But once you open the can, you either use it or you gotta refrigerate it. And if you refrigerate it, it's gonna turn into a sludge. So you can either warm this up a little bit when it gets out of the refrigerator, or you can just try to dump it in there as the sludge. And as you can see it, there we go. So we're gonna get all that out of there. And with what we're doing here, it's not gonna matter that it's in this state of consistency. So get that out of there. And then follow that up with about an ounce and a quarter of water. And so for the water, I'm just using a purified bottled water. I don't wanna use anything that's straight from the tap, unless you have a good filter water. We're gonna put just about an inch and a little bit right in there. And then you're gonna mix it up. And here's where if you have a chilled Coco Lopez, it's gonna get mixed up in there, no problem whatsoever. And we're gonna put it in the freezer. So most Piña Colada recipes use a lot of ice to make the drink a blended drink. And for one, I do not really care for a whole bunch of ice in a drink, because then, well, one, you're paying for the ice, and 2, you're not getting as many bold flavors as you want. I mean, what the Piña Colada comes down to is pineapple and coconut with some rum. And those 3 flavors, you really want to make them stand out. And the way I like my Piña Colada, which happens to be one of the 2 possible originators of it, is to have those 3 flavors be in there with just enough water to dilute things a little bit. As with many cocktails, water is used as an ingredient, as a diluter. So yeah, you get that little bit of water in there to add the dilution, maybe help out with the freezing process a little bit, and in the end, I think it turns out my favorite Piña Colada. So after about 3-4 hours, maybe a little bit longer depending on your freezer, you want to get your frozen pineapple mix out, break it up into chunks just to make it easier on yourself. All right, for the rums, really it's use anything you like. I mean, you can definitely use some Puerto Rican rums in here. That's a given. I'm using Cruzan aged dark rum. I think the flavor profile really works well in the Piña Colada. And the amount of rum you use just really dependent. I mean, obviously, it depends maybe on the strength of the rum. For Cruzan, something that's kind of a lighter rum, You can go anywhere between 2 to 3 ounces or so. And I will go for about 2.5 ounces. I have a feeling my glass here, well, my plastic is going to be a little big, but that's okay. Probably raise the ingredients by a little bit each, and you can really fill up the mug. And then if you want to go for the garnish, got the good old pineapple cherry umbrella. Get a straw in there, and there you have it. Once again, it's a sizable drink. It's nothing. It's like what you would expect to get at a resort if you order a pina colada size-wise. And there's a little bit of water from the dilution. Otherwise, it is pure rum, coconut, and pineapple. Definitely let me know in the comments if you make it this way, if you do this freezer bag thing, or if you put the contents into a slushy machine or ice cream maker, however you make it to where you don't have to blend it with ice. Let me know if you try it and how your results turn out, and what rum you use. You can maybe you find some good Puerto Rican rum that goes really well in here. Maybe you try it, you could do it Royal Caribbean style, where they put some grenadine at the bottom and then flip some Kraken rum on top, and it's the Kraken Piña Colada. So you could definitely do it that way. Let me know. I would really like to hear from anybody, and let me know if this Piña Colada is the best that you've ever had. And I'll catch you on the next one.